Hey, it's Nikki Thompson, and you're listening to Tea with Nikki. Embrace your sexual energy. And today on the podcast, I'm going to be talking about why I love to fail. This is going to be a fun episode, and I did a little video on this a couple weeks back on socials, and I'm really excited to share this with you in the podcast. So I am excited that you're here. Now, if you haven't already, come and join us in the One Habit online program. We're kicking it off. This week is the week it's happening. So come and join us. If you want the link, you can check out show notes. The links to the program will be in there. Plus, you can also send me a message if you would like more information. But this program is for anyone who is ready to dive all in and start to really break down some of the crap that's holding them back, and to develop the habit of really trusting in on yourself, being able to trust your decisions and to stop overthinking every decision that you make, because we're going to be learning how to trust our body, how to trust the feelings in our body and do deep inner work. So I'm really excited to be doing this program. If you want more details or if you have any questions, just let me know, and you can find all the info that you need in the show notes. All right. So welcome. Another week. We're heading into January, February, my goodness. And it's just crazy. This year is flying by already. It's 2021. And I didn't even know if we would get here after last year. Amazing. So this podcast is all about why I love to fail. Now, I grew up in the household where I was a good girl. I loved being the good girl. I felt like that was my personality, my character was being the good girl. And I got praise for being a good girl, and I felt good in myself for that. And so being a good girl, you don't fail. You only do the things that you know you can do, and you don't want to fail because you feel as though there's all this shame attached to failing, that, I had this fear for a very long time in my, even as an adult, that there would be like this kind of shame mob coming to highlight that you failed, and that everyone would be laughing at me, and that it would just be awful. And it wasn't until around 10 years ago that I failed big, and it was, I survived it. It was not pleasant. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty shit time. But there was no angry mob at my door. There was no one was standing out, in front of me laughing in my face, or any of that kind of the dreaded kind of stories that I'd played in my mind. None of that was happening. And I look back now and realize it was such a huge lesson. Obviously there'd been failures throughout my life, different things. I'd tried sports that I was no good at, or I'd tried subjects at school or university or whatever that I wasn't great at, or, just in general things in life I had failed. But there'd been minor failures, and I still had a problem with failing. It was until this big one that really impacted the way I saw failure. And I'm not going to say it was some massive epiphany and it was like, oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful moment and this failure is going to teach me a life lesson. Fuck no. It was years after that massive failure that I started to think, oh, okay, I see. I'm still alive. Everyone's still alive. This is, not the end of the world. No one's laughing at me. Let's look at how can I rebuild after this situation. And there was just a lot happening in my life at the time. It was a business failure. It was financial. It was, just a lot emotional stuff going on. And now I look at this situation and think that really set me up, because you know what? I got through it. I rebuilt. I still continue to try new things all of the time. And I don't think I would be as open to trying new things if I hadn't have gone through that, because I still would have had that belief that failure is going to be like epic, right? So when we have this fear of failure, it stops us from trying new things. And I definitely believe it stops us from trying new things sexually. So when it comes to our sexual energy, people are nervous because they don't want to try stuff in case it doesn't work out. Well, this is probably not news, but maybe it is news for you. Shit is going to go wrong. You know, when you try new things sexually, it might not be how you like it. But the thing is, it might be not how you imagined it, or it might be more nerve-wracking. It might be scary. It might be, a number of emotions. But it's about understanding that when we don't try new things, are we really living, or are we just staying in our comfort zone and never going out of that? Now, the most incredible things for me that have happened in my life have happened outside of my comfort zone. And I'm so grateful that I continue to step so far outside of my comfort zone on a regular basis, because that's where the fun stuff happens. So in 2020, I went to Essential Temple, which if you listen to my guest interview with Sarah Elise, you would have heard about that. Going to Essential Temple was fucking scary. I had no idea what to expect. I was nervous. I was scared. I was thinking, holy shit, what am I getting into? But at the same time, I really wanted to see what it was about. And I also had deep faith in myself that I'd be able to handle it. I'm confident that if it's definitely not what I want, I can walk straight back out again. No big deal. And that's how I do a lot of things, is if I'm really uncomfortable, and it's doing the work for reconnecting with your body, knowing what's uncomfortable and knowing what is a bit scary, but also knowing what is dangerous and what is a definite fuck no, get me out of here. Learning what the difference is between those emotions and learning the difference of what they feel like is really, really important in order to try new things, because we don't want to just be in a situation where it's like, no, I'm just going to try something new, but you're like, I don't know, you're so far outside of your comfort zone, but you're also putting yourself in a dangerous position. You need to know what that feels like, because your senses are always going to be right. You've had those feelings, but we need to work with our bodies. We need to reconnect with our bodies to know what that actually feels like. What does it feel like to be like, oh my God, I'm excited, I'm nervous. Oh my God, I'm excited, but I'm nervous. Or it's like, oh my God, this doesn't feel right. I feel like this is not okay. We need to know what the difference is, and what the difference is for those what that feels like in our bodies. Now, only you know what that feels like in your body, because what excited and nervous feels like in my body could be completely different to what that feels like in your body. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, your stomach feels like this, your heart will race, and you'll start sweating. For some people, that's what's going to happen. For other people, they may go into shutdown mode. So their heart's racing, they're not sweating, but they're just like, they're stunned, like they're stuck, and so learning what does it feel like in your body with these emotions allows you to try new things with full trust in your body, with full trust that you've got this, that you're safe, that you can try this, right? Until we get to that place, we're always going to reject the fear of, we're going to reject trying new things in that fear of failure, because we don't know what it feels like in our body. We don't trust our bodies. We don't trust ourselves. So we need to be able to trust ourselves in these situations to actually go forward, trying these things and be like, okay, I've always got myself. I'm always backing myself. I'm always trusting how I feel and how my body feels, and to be the guidance of what I do and when I'm going to bail. For me, I I know for sure that I cannot watch scary shows. I can't watch anything where children are being hurt, where there's too much violence, too much. I absolutely cannot watch a thriller, but even some typical movies that people are like, oh, that's so easy to watch. Who cares? It's not scary for me. I know I'm going to have nightmares later. And I've tried that. I've tried to watch it and tried to rationalize it, but it just doesn't feel good in my body. And so I don't watch them. And, if I'm watching a movie with Ollie and I know he's going to cover my eyes and I block my ears if there's like a violent scene, and then he'll tell me when it's over. And I trust that because I know how I'm going to feel if I do watch it. I know that's going to linger in me for a long time because I feel things so much. And some people can feel things so much and still be okay with thrillers. That's, I'm not saying that that's a gold standard, but that's how it impacts me. So what I want you to do is to think about the next time something comes up that you're a little bit scared about that might be brand new to you. I want you to really tune into your body and think about, is this the right, is this what I want to do? Am I nervous, excited, or am I, no, this is not right. This is not what I want to do at all. Because not every new, exciting thing needs to be tried. I want you to start thinking about and trusting in your body when you make these decisions, as opposed to your head overriding it with fear. Because when we can trust our bodies, we can also start to fail more and try new things and learn from those things, because we trust that we've always got this. We trust that we can always, sort it out. And for me, going into business all about sexual energy and sexual development coaching was definitely a huge leap. It was shit scary, but it felt right. And I also know that no matter what happens with this, I'm still going to be okay. And I know that the people that I'm impacting by doing this, is that just knowing that is so worthwhile. It's so worth me doing this, no matter what happens, right? So I want you to think about that. What's something that's been playing on your mind that you really want to try, but you've been a bit scared to try it? Feel into it. Is it just fear, or is it a danger thing? And if it's just fear, then trust yourself and work and finding ways to trust yourself. And this is a lot of the work that we do in the One Habit, is finding ways that we can truly trust our bodies and trust ourselves, because we can't do anything in life really, really well. We can't live the life that we really want without trusting ourselves. So I hope you got a lot out of today's episode. There was a little bit of rambling, but that's how I roll. I hope you have the most epic week, and I will be back on next week. I don't know what I'm talking about just yet, but it's going to be good. So I hope you have the most incredible week, and I'll chat to you later. Bye.